We've got Ben the Destroyer on with us. Hopefully it doesn't destroy me. Hello and welcome to Gearhead 704. I'm Matt, and today we are doing more SSP rust repair. No, we're not. No, we're not. You're probably wondering where I'm standing at. We got a cool location here, and we're bringing an old friend back to the channel. No, actually today, guys, like I said, we're bringing an old friend back to the channel. He hasn't been on here in a while, but some of you guys might remember him. Even if you don't worry, we're gonna cover everything today. But if you see this car, then you know who that man is right there. We've got Ben the Destroyer on with us, and no longer ODB Capri. Correct. Right, but you are Ben the Destroyer,
this is
which
still the ODB Capri.
This is the ODB Capri. This is Ben the Destroyer. Now you're separate things, which is cool. Very cool. But Ben's got all his paperwork lined up out here, and we're gonna just basically cover the car, all the details on the car, everything about it, but we're gonna go from the beginning, which we've never done. This is kind of like, I've never done a full, proper review sort of thing of his car today. So we're doing it today. It's an 82 Capri. He's got all the original paperwork laying out here. Because Ben, you've had this car, what, 4 years now we were talking?
Coming up on 4 years.
Yeah, and it's changed a lot in 4 years.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, we were saying too, like you and I, we've known each other about 18 months, and it's changed a lot even in that time. You know, it's gone from Phytech to carburetor, all kinds of stuff, but we'll get into that. So why don't we start out with what it was originally, because you got a lot of the original paperwork here, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so the original car is an 82 Capri Elko. So it's a full base car. Manual windows, manual locks, no radio, no AC. It's a French vanilla interior with a polar white exterior. As you can see, everything's kind of written down in here. It had the handling package, so it had the TRX wheels.
Oh, it had the TRX wheels, okay.
5.0 with a 2-barrel.
Yeah, look at that, guys. 5-liter engine, which I had no idea that they had those back then.
And then it had the little S-Rod 4-speed transmission.
Yeah, the 4-speed transmission.
That's how it was from the factories. Cool little transmission.
Yeah, it doesn't have that anymore.
No.
When you got it, was it basically stock or?
No. So when I got it, I pulled it out of a trailer park up in Oxford, North Carolina. I had a red V6 convertible 86 Mustang that I had almost completely restored. And
yeah, this is your second FOXBODY, right?
Yeah,
your second one. Okay.
The red car on Christmas Eve of 2016 decided to blow the head gaskets. Yeah. And so I said, Merry Christmas to myself. And I wanted to 5.0 swap the car. And my dad looked at me and said, you're not going to 5.0 swap the car. We'll buy you a 5.0 VIN car and just kind of restart. So that's how this came along.
Okay.
I found it on Craigslist, and it was listed as a Ford Mustang clone.
That's how we know it's 4 years ago, because Craigslist's dead now. Facebook Marketplace, even I'm learning, but yeah.
So we went and looked at it. It had a 302 with a flat tappet cam, E7 heads, and a Holley 650 on it.
Okay, so they had upgraded the heads a little bit.
Right.
So it had a 4-barrel, no longer the 2-barrel.
Correct.
Okay.
So I paid $2,000 for it, and the motor kept eating cams before I got it. So that was in the ad. I ended up calling Sam Poteet and a couple of the other guys, Kenneth Standel on Instagram as Gas Can. One of those that, talking to those guys, I decided to get it. And it drove for about a year as it was factory. Had no second gear synchros. So when you shifted in a second, you just slammed it in a second, held it in the second gear.
Oh my God.
So it would
This sounds like your car. I mean, eating cams, hold it in second. It sounds like it should be your car.
It would pop out of second gear if you didn't do it. So fast forward a year after owning it, and I took Matthew Servin for a ride in it.
The Servinator.
Bent the clutch. Rear main seal was blowing so much oil that it oil soaked the clutch, and it basically ate the clutch.
And then, so you had it about a year, replaced the clutch.
We didn't actually replace the clutch.
Oh, you didn't?
So
okay.
At that point, I found a 5-speed. We resealed the motor. When we got it back together, drove the car to a revival, because I was playing bass, and we were like, we're just gonna pull out and drive it. My brother and I needed food. We ran down the interstate to get food. I just kind of went through the gears, just making sure everything was working. I was revving it to about 6,000, which probably at the time was wrong. I ended up blowing the car up on the way to get food. And I called my dad, and I was like, hey, Dad, I blew it up. I'm going to try and limp it back.
Was it smoking, or?
Oh, yeah. So it had an air breather on the valve cover, and it was just blowing smoke.
Oh, okay.
It didn't break the block or anything. The block was still good. I got back on the interstate, was doing 60 miles an hour with the windows down and the sunroof open, and it was just blowing smoke through the cabin and out. Because at that point, the interior was gutted, and so there was just a big hole around the transmission. It was just blowing smoke.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, in my SSP, I don't have a cover, so the first time I drove it, I had smoke as well.
Yep.
Not as bad as you, but it's burning oil.
Okay, I don't know what to do with it. Actually, Sam Poteet, without a pastor, and his brother, who owns Kannapolis Engine Services, actually had a motor built for a car that he was working on. And I traded my old red car for that motor.
Oh, you traded the car for the motor. Oh, okay.
Even trade. We thought the head gaskets were still bad on it, but that's how we got the motor. We got the motor from Sam, and he got my car. And it, at that point, is when we put the FITEC system on it.
Okay, so you did go EFI, but FITEC.
Right, so...
And I love how clean the bay is, by the way. It looks great. You told me the color before, but I forgot.
It's dark shadow gray. It's off the 0304 Mach 1s. Engine bay, my headlight bezels, and then a couple other things throughout the car. My Mercury's actually dark shadow gray. You just can't really tell.
Oh, really?
It'll end up being white eventually. I just haven't got there.
Yeah.
10-to-1 compression, 306, ported GT40 heads, and a Edelbrock RPM intake.
And it's got an F-cam, right?
F-cam,
okay.
Yes. So it was built for boost, so it was built for an on-3 turbo to make around 500 to the tires, but it has enough compression that you can run it naturally aspirated, no issue.
Does it have like the pistons are forged or something like that?
Pistons are forged.
Okay. It's
got adjustable rockers and just... It's a well-built motor.
Yeah, and actually Kannapolis Engines is who I'm looking to build my stroker in my car. The 331 is now going to go in the SSP, but yeah, so they're the ones that are going to do it. And you've had their engine for a long time now. How many years of that? 2 years ago?
About 2.5.
Okay, and the engine itself has been great, right?
Yeah, somehow the engine, with all the issues that we've had, somehow it's still. So,
even with you being Ben the Destroyer, you still have not taken the engine out.
I've never had an engine problem.
All right. So shout out to Kannapolis Engines.
The transmission has been out 8 times now.
8 times. Yeah, so you got it with a 4-speed, right?
Got it with a 4-speed, and we did a 5-speed swap. I traded a set of seats for a 5-speed that every single synchro was shot and every single gear was shot. So you'd shift it, and the day I blew it up, you would shift it, and it would just grind every gear unless you did it perfectly in the RPM range. I went to MPS Automotive down in Georgia and bought a transmission from them. Finally ended up taking them the car. The 3rd gear slider had bent. It was just causing 3rd gear to grind every single time. Finally got a good one. It's perfect. No issues there.
How about the rear end? Has you ever done anything to that?
It came with the rear end, had 355 gears and an 8.8 in it that had already been swapped out.
It already been swapped to an 8.8. Okay.
So I had an original street level McLeod. Ended up breaking a flywheel tooth and a couple other things. Now it's got a 500 horsepower McLeod clutch.
Obviously you got a 3G alternator on it, right?
Correct. 3G alternator. All the pulleys are new. Air pump delete. New power steering pump. New A-arms. New shocks, struts, springs.
Yeah, you name it.
Yeah, everything.
Was the strut tower on it when you got it, or you added that?
It was. So when I got it, it was black and it had some decals on it. I didn't really like the way the black matched the darkness of the engine bay, so we just sprayed it white. And I fell in love with it. I do have a different hood to go on it. I've just got to fix a couple more things on it, but I've got an original RS turbo hood.
Oh, cool. And you said, so it had the FITEC on it at the time, but what did it make power-wise then?
The original motor made 226, 274. The FITEC with this motor made 294, 294 on 7 cylinders and a bad tank. Okay. Now we're not really sure what it makes. I haven't dynoed it yet, but
because now you changed it to carburetor, right?
Now we're back carbureted.
Yep.
Holley has a new carburetor lineup called the Brawler series. I have no complaints with this carburetor. 650, red and black. It's just clean.
It recently got tuned. Well, not tuned. Well, I guess, yeah. What did you have in the carburetor? Because you're still having some running issues even after switching to carburetor.
I'm very good at doing a lot of the other stuff, but as far as fine-tuning stuff, I've never done it. Tim Foreman and JR came down out of Pennsylvania to pick up some car parts, and they took a look at it, and it is wrong.
Actually, I did ride in it over here a little bit, guys. Don't worry, we're going to take you guys for a ride in it, but in my little ride in it, let me tell you, it's much stronger than with the FITEC. Much stronger. Big improvement. Matter of fact, if you guys want to check that video out of when I rode in the FITEC, I'll throw one of those cards, throw it that way, I can't remember, but they can check that out. We're gonna do a full ride in it today, but it's not just, we talked a lot about the engine and drivetrain, but The interior and stuff has changed a lot, right?
Yeah, so when I first got it, it had a set of 93 4-cylinder LXs in it with the original French vanilla interior, black dash pad. Since then, it's got new black carpet, new corbos, new dash pad. The interior's been cleaned up. It's got 85 to 86 gauges. It's got an original 79 Capri RS rear seat.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's awesome. And the carpet's really nice. You won this, you actually won this at Foxtoberfest, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is how he got his carpet, guys. And unfortunately, there's not a Foxtoberfest this year, but normally when they do it every year, the person with the worst carpet, I think it's worst interior or most in need of a top upholstery. I don't know, Jen would kill me right now. I don't know all the things. But anyway, they do give those parts away, and Ben won the most in need of carpet.
That was actually the only year the car made it to Foxtoberfest.
Was it?
That has been the only time the car
and it would have made it this year.
And this is the first year that it would have made it.
But 2020, so.
2020.
Also in the back too, you got the carpet looking good back here now too.
Yep, so I've got another set of rear panels that I'm going to rebuild to go in here. Just time.
Yeah, it's a Fox, so.
A little bit at a time.
This is the most done it's ever been though.
Yes, in the time that I've owned it, this is the most put together this car has ever been.
Yeah, because I couldn't believe it. He's like, yeah, we're gonna go for a ride for the Capri, and then it started right up. And I was waiting for stuff to break. That's unusual. She's coming along pretty well.
Exhaust, if anyone has questions on that. BBK shorties to an H-pipe, Flowmaster 40s, 2.5 all the way out the back.
Yeah, kind of just your classic setup, but it sounds pretty good. Always it sounds really good on this car.
Yeah.
And you just got these wheels. You've been through several sets of wheels. I think the last time you were on the channel, maybe we had the Salines. I don't know, we might have had these. You used to have Salines.
Yeah, I had a set of 18-inch Salines, and the Capri fenders are actually smaller than the Mustang fenders by just a hair, and the 18s would just rub. I didn't want to risk messing up the car, you know, doing something stupid. And
you also wanted more of this classic look too, right?
And I was looking for something that would match the car. These are actually fender lines out of, Tim says, the early 2000s.
Okay.
But they're 17x9 square. I've got 255 in the rear, 235 in the front.
Okay. I should have done 255 on mine. That was a big mistake. You don't rub in the front at all?
I
Probably
do
a little
bit. I hit the fenders.
Okay.
Just because I lowered it.
That's right. It is slower.
Not a big deal.
I don't think I saw that last time.
Yeah, it's got Box Sport lines on it now. Suspension though is the 87 to 93 suspension. So it's got 87 93 front brakes, dimpled slotted rotors, and all that came off the first FOXBODY. So
you took everything off your original Fox.
I brought it home in the first week of owning this car, I swapped out the entire
Really?
suspension.
Oh, that's awesome in the first week. Man,
So
you weren't messing around, were you?
No, there's pictures of it on jack stands in the front yard with both cars facing each other. So, and the cow hood did come on it. It was primer gray. It's currently plastic dipped. You can see it's rough and it holds fingerprints, but it'll get
It matches the car.
Yeah, it'll get redone at some point.
Basically bring us up to today.
That's basically the entire car.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been almost a 4-year project at this point.
You probably just like to drive it for a while. I mean, I was going to ask you what's next for you, but you probably want to enjoy it for a little bit, right?
Yeah, there's a few things that I want to have done to it, like rebuild the rear interior panels and do a couple things to clean it up.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm in App State in college, so just till I get out of that and settled, it's going to stay like this.
I think that's awesome. It's a kind of like an awesome rat rod look. You know, it's always been one of my favorite cars. And I think you guys like it too. I know you guys do. I think you should keep the exterior like this as long as possible. Let Ben know what you think down below, if he should actually paint it, make it look nice, or go with it like this forever.
And the other thing is, if anyone wants to replace their heater core, make sure you buy a non-AC car. It takes 15 minutes. All you have to do is pull the glove box out and it slides right out.
You just made everybody mad that has the heater core. In fact, I think we're gonna be doing a heater core install this coming Saturday for me. Not for my car, for somebody else's car. So yeah, that'll suck. Actually, you did something up here, right?
Yeah, so when I first got the car, the 82s actually only had the base front end. There was no lower air dam or anything. My buddy Aaron Buchanan here in Gastonia, this was on a drag car, but it's a 84 RS front end. There's a couple studs that are missing, but it was black, and then I just sanded it down, painted them white. The fenders are off in 85.
Oh, okay.
So repainted the whole entire front of the car to match itself. It's pretty close to the doors, but it's kind of hard to mimic 40-year-old paint.
Yeah. You painted that yourself?
Yeah, I did it in the backyard. And the RS hood that I have is paint matched to the bumpers and fenders.
So you did, okay. All right, so guys, what we're doing now, Ben's gonna go ahead and move the car. Gotta get the thumbnail. You know I gotta get the thumbnail. But we are gonna go for a ride in it, see how it's running after the carburetor has been tuned and set up. Since Tim did the carburetor, the car's running much better, so we're gonna let you guys ride along in the car. Ben's gonna take me for a ride, hopefully not kill me. If he does, you guys won't know, the video will never make it. But first, we're gonna move it for the thumbnail. right, we have the thumbnail. It's time to go for a ride with Ben the Destroyer. Hopefully it doesn't destroy me. So this is my first ride on video in the newly tuned carbureted Capri, and you can go into 5th gear now.
Yeah, I'm cruising at 5th. We don't have that droning noise that we had last time.
Yep.
Instead of running about 2,500, I'm down about 18.
Okay.
Shifting into 5th, 355 gears, my favorite gears.
That's what I put in SSP, so I'll find out maybe a year from now what that's like. She's healthy now. She's finally healthy.
I mean, the car is finally running, driving, and it's just, I'm enjoying it.
That's what you need to do.
I'm just happy. And it's so much fun.
It's running the best I've ever ran in it.
This is the fastest it's ever been.
I'm tongue-tied. I can't even talk. They know that's a first on this channel, so. Except for the last time I was tongue-tied. In 2nd gear. Fun. Guys, we have arrived back here. I was just hanging out with Ben, and this is Dad Randy. Randy's been on the channel before, but behind there, Randy, you got your Calypso. Yes. And you told us, I told everybody you were going to sell it. And
I was.
And you were. But you're not now, are you?
Actually, my wife and daughter want me to keep it.
No, I didn't know that. Really? They want you to keep that? Really?
Keep it. Yeah.
Oh, well, they're smart.
They're smart.
Well, I love it. So, and of course, you got that thing which you drive daily now, right?
Oh, yeah, I do. Which is cool.
The Roush. Got a Roush over there.
Garage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess I shouldn't have done that. So this will be near the end of the video. Nobody's watching anymore. They've already clicked off. Randy knows he's not even caught up on the latest videos. He knows not everybody watches every minute. But all right, but anyway, to finish up, the Capri, Ben. The Capri is awesome now. It's finally running right. I definitely felt a big difference from the last ride along, for sure. So Tim did a good job.
Yes, Tim and JR.
Yep.
Phenomenal job.
Yeah. You did good, guys. I enjoyed my ride. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the ride too. And that's pretty much it on this one. I don't know. I guess this will be the last video on this car for a while, unless you do something.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'll see it around.
Yeah. Oh, there is one more thing I forgot. We should show them. That's pretty cool. You showed me.
Oh, yeah.
Let's show the lights. He just put some new LED lights, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the 4-ride on Amazon, they came out with a halogen container that you can put
Check
an LED
that out,
light.
guys. Oh, it shows up great on camera too. Yeah. So these are the original. These are the.
Yeah. And so I've got the other ones. I just don't have the adapters in yet.
Okay, but it's coming. But I like this because you can tell the difference. Giving you guys something a little different. Next video, Ben will be repairing all the rest of my car, right?
No, next video.
Well, that's pretty much it on this one. So yeah, it was fun. Thanks a lot, Ben. Always good to see you, man.
Oh yeah.
Yep, and it's all your fault, Randy. It's all your fault. So that's it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe, and also check out the other videos on Ben's Capri. I think this is the 3rd or 4th one, and it was a lot of fun. And we'll see you here next time on Gearhead 704.